11:36 with Britain's News on GB News with Andrew Pearce and Bev Turner.
So children will not be given sex education until the age of 9 under new government plans announced today.
Yeah, in fact, they're going to talk about it in the Cabinet today, so that when sex education starts in school, it won't be before children are at the age of 9, and they will be no longer allowed to teach. There are 72 different genders, which is ridiculous, frankly. So is the tide turning? Well,
joining us now is Chief Health and Sex Education Officer at the FPA, Family Planning Association, Adam Jepsen. Morning, Adam. Thank you so much for coming on board. There's a suspicion that maybe the government are playing politics with this issue a little bit this morning. What are children currently taught under the age of 9?
Well, you're taught, because girls start having periods at about 8 years old these days. I mean, anywhere between 8 and 13. So girls are taught periods, and boys are taught this as well. Periods are healthy, normal, natural, and fine. And that's what a little girl needs to hear. And then you can talk about the hygiene. But that's also in the biology curriculum. And so Rishi may want to talk about not talking about this stuff, but little girls still need to hear this, and they will still hear these things.
But in terms of sex education, this is being sold as they're not going to get sex education anymore. What are they getting sex education at the moment in terms of relationships and sexual choices and preferences?
Okay, so this is what parents may misunderstand about relationships and sex education. So in primary school, about 2/3 of it is all about relationships. But the relationships is be kind to your mum and dad, be kind to the people in the class, be kind to the teacher, be kind to people who are different. That's what relationships is mostly about. It's not talking about sexual relationships. That's in our heads. It's not what's taught to children.
When you say
kids under 9, I doubt there are many schools teaching them anything about sex.
Right. So, Adam, when you say be nice to people who are different, what do you mean by people who are different? Is that different skin colour or disabled? What do you mean by that?
Well, anyone who's different to you. So maybe someone's younger, maybe someone's straight, maybe someone's gay, maybe someone's got a different skin colour. Just be kind. And also the focus is more on, it's a nuance, it's more on be kind rather than be nice. Because nice can have negative connotations of be a nice little girl and do this for me. Be kind is all about being respectful, but also the ability to say no. And, if there's a problem, talk to your parents.
Do you think it's about right at the moment, Adam, in this country, what is on the actual curriculum that children are taught? And if it is right, why are the government making a fuss about the fact that they're going to change it?
Well, there's currently a consultation out at the moment, or it's actually finished. The government's had a full review of this. And let's all remember it was the Conservatives brought relationships and health and sex education into the curriculum. And we think that's a good thing. But what the government haven't done, there was a 5-person panel who've been looking at what's been happening in schools. What they haven't done is release the results. Maybe they don't like the look of what the panel has said. Again, relationships and health and sex education is about protecting and helping children. I think we need to remove the idea it's about training children to have sex. It's quite the opposite. Huge amount of studies that say it's the opposite.
Who are you concerned for if we start to dial down on our sex education provision in schools?
Well, I don't think they're even looking to dial down on it. Again, under 9s, it should be about relationships, again, classmates and other people. The other big portion of that is actually training kids in having the building blocks to help protect themselves. Online dangers and offline dangers. So that's about 1/3 of what they're taught in primary schools. Bullying, the very nasty side of sending messages and pictures of themselves. Kids are being taught not to do these things and to check with their parents.
What about pronouns, Adam? Does this crop up with children under the age of 9? That they might want to be applied by a different pronoun?
It doesn't crop up a great deal. If you talk with the children, and again, you listen to the kids, again, this is where the government consultation has gone completely wrong. They haven't listened to children, and they didn't go listening to children in any way. It's not a big issue for children. They are being taught to be kind. If someone's different, again, fine. If you're trans, you're a different colour, different age group, it's not a problem. Be kind, be respectful.
What about later in the school education? I have teenagers, and I think at high school they are clearly having debates around gender. And my kids will say, "Ugh, we got two thems, we got two them theys, mum, in our year," and they do take it with a little bit of pinch of salt. They see it as a bit of an attention-seeking thing. And to be honest, if you decide that you're a they them rather than a he she. Should the schools be, at some situations, do you think, leading rather than just listening to the children?
No, it's a question of listening to children. Because I think if you get into leading, you might start going, hey, this group of people is better than that group of people. It's about everyone having equality and dignity and respect for each other. It's not about leading people in one way or the other.
So if a child then, say 13 in the class says, I'm not a girl or a boy, I'm a they, them. Do you think that the teachers should say, yes, we agree with you, you are not a boy or a girl? I
would love for the government, they've been sitting on the fence for a very long time on this, to come out like Wales and Scotland have and say, here is the guidance for the teachers, because the teachers are in a really tricky place. Through this. You're in the middle of a class and some kid wants to be a little bit awkward. What will you do? But then you're actually distracting from all the children who are unfortunately born in the wrong body, and you're not helping them. But when it comes down to it, mostly I think the teachers can distinguish. Teachers are pretty bright people. They can distinguish between who's,
swinging the lead,
fun, and actually who just needs to be listened to.
Yeah,
it's not about leading class to say this group of people is better than that group of people.
Okay, Adam Jepsen there from the Family Planning Association. Interesting.
Really interesting.
Still to come.